피마. 아, 유하. 어서오세요. 반갑습니다. 안녕하세요. 유하입니다. 유하. 안녕하세요. 오늘 할 것은, 유하. 어서오세요, 다들. 오늘 할 것은, 저번에 진행하다가, 너무 큰 비중이랑 너무 컸던 방대한 엔딩에 아직 못 깨었던 중간에 그만두고 말았던 슬레이 더 프린세스를 다시 해보기로 가져왔고요. 일단은 공주를 그냥 진짜 많이 죽여야 하는 것 같아요. 공주를 진짜 많이 죽여서 많이 그 신적인 존재한테 바치고 난 다음에 진 엔딩을 볼 수 있을지 한번 해보도록 하겠습니다. 라핀 바보 아니에요. 그러면 해보겠습니다. 주의사항, 다시 해당 게임은 공포게임이며 전체 이용가가 아닙니다. 슬레이 더 프린세스는 광과민성 발작과 드문 경우 멀미를 유발할 수 있는 특수 효과를 포함하고 있습니다. 문제가 발생하는 경우 설정에서 해당 효과를 끄십시오. 멀미는 모르겠네. 이 어두운 곳에서 어떤 두려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다보아주세요. 잘못된 엔딩은 없습니다.
하나, 둘, 셋, 공전수 화이팅!
아이, 감사합니다. 그치만 공전수는 아니지만 어쨌든 화이팅! 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시장만이 존재합니다. 이것은 사랑에 관한 이야기입니다. 아이고야, 다시 오고 말았네요. 이곳에 오고 말았네. 어디까지? 페이지 5까지 했지? 마지막 했던 거를 계속 가볼게요. 저번에 멀미는 안 났던 것 같아요. 여기에서 혹시 됐어, 난 안 할래 하면 어떻게 될까?
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
안 됐네. 안 된다 하네.
Of course, I mean.
이거는 저번에 다 한번 해봤으니까 그냥 바로바로 진행을 해보죠. 돌아서서 떠난다?
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
어디로 가야 할지 알긴 해요? 아니? 조용히 오두막 반대 방향으로 계속 걸어간다.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange.
몰라?
It looks like this path
해설자 이놈!
also
해설자 이놈!
cabin.
와.
Convenient. Everything's back on track.
해설자
Maybe the
이놈!
world can still be saved after
일부러
all.
바꿔놨네, 꼬아놨네. 다시 돌아서서 떠난다. 또다시.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies.
상관없어. 공주를 해치고 싶지 않아. 그래? 그럼 전부 죽으라고 해. 날 이런 외딴 숲에 던져놓고 누군가를 자기네들 대신 죽이라고 강요할 거면 말이야. 조용히 돌아선다. 지금 날 감정적으로 협박하고 있잖아.
Your silence is deafening.
간다.
Fine.
우와.
Turn around and trek back down the path you came.
똥가?
Oh, would you look at that?
Oh my
You're in the
God.
cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
이 자식. 아, 그래? 그럼 다시 다른 방향으로 가지 뭐. 이곳에서 나갈 방법을 찾을 때까지 숲속을 헤맬 거야. 오.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now
부금이
that you're
끊겼어.
making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to
뭔가
happen.
이상한 일이 생기기 시작하는데?
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your
부금이
eyes.
이상해.
Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. As you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin.
집이 복사가
And not
된다고?
just a cabin,
공주가 복사가
the
된다고?
cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and
아,
cabins
그렇죠.
desperately trying to draw you back to
앤님,
where
어서
you need
오세요.
to be. Wait,
뭐야?
what's going on?
이게 왜 이렇게 되는 거야?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about
대통령가
irritating me
되어버렸네.
than you do about the fate of the world.
야, 이제 이 한 나라의 공주가 아니라 마을의 공주잖아.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
챕터 2로 넘어갔다. 낯선 존재.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path
뭔가가
is a
된 것
cabin.
같은데? 조건이 된 것 같은데요?
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
그러니까 이렇게 해도 넘어가네? 저장해 놓자. 이거 지금 좀 배경이 바뀌었어요. 여기에 무슨 벽 같은 게 생겨나 있어.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end
하스키님
of
어서
the
오세요.
world.
지난번에 저 벽은 없었는데? 날 강제로 오두막에 들어갈 생각은 하지 마. 숲속에 머무른다. 영원히 이런 것도 있네?
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking.
반항심의
He's
목소리가
like a
나왔네.
captive audience. He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
숲속에 머무른다 엔딩도 한번 해보고 싶긴 하거든요? 근데 그거는 그런 거면은 공주의 얼굴을 볼 수 없으니까 낯선 존재가 되었을 때 공주의 오두막도 한번 들러보고 싶긴 한데 근데 뭐 어차피 다회차가 가능한 거라 그냥 빨리빨리 하면은 될 것 같긴 해요. 그럼 이번에 한번 여기서 영원히 머물러 볼까?
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
다카 헤아루님 어서오세요. 그렇네, 공주가 올 때 됐다고 하네. 그래, 그냥 조용히 오두막에 간다.
Warning, before you go any further.
더 진행하기 전에 경고 하나 하죠.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she
당신의
isn't a
목소리.
liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind. The cabin interior is wrong. a confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted, an inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
진짜
The
어지러워.
only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine
그러면
blade.
지금은 저 단검을 가져가 보지 말아보자. 이따가 또 똑같이 해서 단검을 가져가는 루트로도 한번 해볼게요.
The blade is your... If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
그건 맞아.
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that when everything here is so wrong.
No.
Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're
어떻게?
describing
네가 눈에
it to
가봐도
us.
네가 계속
I'm not
해설하잖아.
going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
일단 거울 한번 또 봅시다.
What are you talking? You
또
reach forward,
없어졌다.
rub your hand against. But there was a mirror, and now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want
그냥
us to see.
이번엔 없이 들어가 봅시다.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable
Oh my
materials.
god.
Nothing here seems to belong. And the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get. Your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere.
고소공포증 있는 사람 뭘까요? 주인공. 아, 키 밑에 붙이고 올
The
걸.
air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it. The kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every sense.
숲으로 나가는 게 진엔딩으로 가는 조건 중 하나일 수도
simultaneously
있겠다.
everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here?
와.
Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a
철부같이
baby.
굴긴.
I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This
이건
feels
진짜
like a
영웅의
trap.
목소리는 맞는 것 같아.
Like, we don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we?
아래에
He
여러
threw up a
명이
wall.
그럴 수도 있어.
No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
핀님이라면 못 가는 게 아닐까? 왼쪽에 거친 계단을 선택한다. 중앙의 계단을 선택한다. 오른쪽에 부드러운 계단을 선택한다. 세이브합시다. 왼쪽.
You step to the left. The path is cruel against your feet, the impact of each step sending pulsing vibrations up your
아,
legs
길을 못
till there's
찾았어.
nothing left in them to feel. The air around you grows cold the further you progress.
어머!
At first, a barely noticeable drop, quickly evolving into a numbing cold.
어머!
Your toes feel like blocks of ice. Your breaths puff out in clouds of condensed vapor.
어머!
You shudder against it as you continue down the stairway, losing yourself in the bone-deep chill.
올라? 올라? 올라?
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further
올라?
you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish,
올라?
until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey. A continuous march forward to
올라?
consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all,
파괴와 배신, 의심과
the
헌신,
emotion
투지와
can only
목적,
be
두려움과
described as
구명.
Are you just going to stand there?
What the hell was that?
What?
What happened to us?
깜짝이야. 깜짝이야.
I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you.
아,
Let's talk
족쇄
about it.
족쇄 하나
Try and
차고
get our
있어요. 하나
bearings.
차고 있고
She
하나는
seems
떨어져 있어요.
normal.
근데 눈만 이렇게 안광 이러니까 너무 무섭다. 이곳으로 내려오는 길은 이상했어. 마치 내가 찢어졌다가 다시 붙은 느낌이야. 내게 무슨 일이 있었는지 알아?
What? Like you need
뭐야?
to hold your hand to tell you everything's okay? You're not really cut out
다시
for this,
빛이-
are you? Why are you even here?
빛이 돌아왔어.
Probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out.
아,
And barely
깜짝이야.
a way in.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. Where there was once
아,
just one of her,
깜짝이야.
there is now another. We can do that?
우리도 저거 할 수 있어? 아니, 파랑씨의 목소리 왜 이렇게 웃긴데?
I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back?
대혼돈의 멀티버스죠? 그런 거 같은데?
Again?
오케이?
Have you been here before? Should we tell him? Nah, let him stew.
아니, 안절부절 못하게 놔둬.
Right, I'm telling him. Yeah, we've been here before, but we never went to the cabin. We just turned around and left. Until... It's hard to describe. Until the only thing we could see was the same cabin going on forever. And then you told us that the world ended and we died. And then we woke up, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with all the rest of it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them.
아...
It's not already too late. You have a
해설자가
job to do here, and you need to do it now.
플레이하는 나랑 비슷한 느낌인가?
Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
이름이 네가 늘어났는데.
And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin? I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger. There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago.
She fractures again.
오,
I don't like where this is going.
공주가 아메버 같아.
Neither do
내
I.
말이.
Which is why you need to slay her
그니까.
now before things get more complicated than they already
그러면
are.
공주가 분열, 내 시야가 쪼개지는 느낌이랑 비슷한 느낌인가? 아닌데, 얘기를 할 땐 여기가, 첫 번째로 얘기할 땐 얘가 말했는데, 두 번째로 얘기할 땐 얘가 말하긴 했어.
How would we even do that? Where would we start?
공자가 무한히 불을 분열하면 무한한 자원이 생기는 거 아닐까?
Could always start by retrieving the blade. Can we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back. Well, that's where the blade is. If you want it, you'll have to go and get it.
회사세도 증식하는.
I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
이름이 뭐지?
You can address me as Your Royal Highness or Princess. It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
우리 업다프님도 증식하자.
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
뭐야? 공주를 널 풀어주겠어. 공주를 풀어준다랑 네 정체를 모르지만 널 믿을 수는 없어랑 단검을 다시 가져온다가 다 같이 선택이 되는데요? 세 명? 네, 그런 거 이게 한 번에 다 같이 선택을 할 수 있는. 네, 세 명이라 한 번에 질문이 답이 세 분이 나온다고?
Wait, that's not right. Go on. Take a step forward. Your foot lands.
깜짝이야.
Different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride.
아, 공주가 5명.
You can feel yourself rupture.
공주
The
분신술
room spins, your
뭔데?
perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many
표정이 다
directions.
달라.
You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
야.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and
와,
nothing is
융합! 공주
excruciating.
융합! 공주 5을 제물로 바쳐서 엑시드 카드를 소환!
Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all
네오 아이즈 공주.
falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead and others.
정신이 어지러운데.
You can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
나 이거 메이플에서 본 적 있어.
Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
너무 못생겼어.
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly
참
sincere.
사력 있네.
I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
공주 반죽이 됐는데.
It's a little late for regret,
Oh.
isn't it?
Please.
최선을 다해볼게. 싫어. 늘 고치면 안 될 것 같은데. 최선을 다해볼게. 더 일루전 오브 초이스. 하지만 그녀는 당신의 대답을 듣지 못할 것이다. 그녀는 사라졌다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. And there's that mirror again.
거울이 다가간다.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
마지막 같다는데?
Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
엔딩인가? 당신이 다가가자 목소리들이 자꾸 멀게 느껴진다. 당신이 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 이번에도 모두들이 사라졌다. 거울이 매번 모두를 사라지게 만든다. 하지만 당신은 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인해야 한다. 당신은 해체되었다? 당신은 또다시 정막에 와있다. 오두막에 간다. 당신은 오두막에 있다. 에?
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there.
허비랜디?
Do you know what we'll find out there?
하나가 되죠. 그건 수사적인 질문이야? 이미 알고 있는 거야?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known
공주의
flickers
테라
of the
용사.
lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
나무들과 별 그리고 사람들이 있겠지. 적어도 사람들은 있을 거야. 저 바깥에 실존하는 게 있을까? 넌 우리가 실제로 존재한다고 생각해?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot
팔도 여러 개
exist on its
있어요.
own. And because of
얼굴을 다
that,
가려줬어.
nothing can't exist.
여긴 손을 꼭 잡고 있네. 이 그릇에 대해 어떻게 생각해?
These ones are a contradiction.
모순의 덩어리.
A winding kaleidoscope of paths unwalked. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. They will make for a rich and vibrant heart.
다채롭고 활기 넘치는 심장.
Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
네가 깨어나면 무슨 일이 일어나지?
If I did, I would already be awake.
네가 날 돌려보낼 때마다 난 혼자가 아니야. 내게 말을 거는 목소리들이 있어. 일부는 나지만 그중 한 명은 뭔가 다른 존재야. 난 그를 해설자라고 불러. 그는 내가 널 죽이기를 원해. 내게도 해설자가 있어? 그릇들에게도 해설자가 있는 거야? 아, 제노바님 피마 어서오세요.
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
맞아. 글을 추천했을 때 글을 어떻게 하고 싶은지 잘 모르겠어. 맞아. 글을 찾게 되면 난 너와 진실을 알게 되겠지?
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth.
저를
The only
두려워하는 자?
answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
그릇을 얼마나 더 가져와야 되지?
One.
하나?
Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
우리 한 번 더 하나 보다. 이번이 마지막이라면 혹시 내가 가져다 줬으면 하는 그릇이 있어?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
이번이 내가 완성되기 전에 이번이 마지막이라면 난 돌아가지 않겠어. 그냥 여기 있을 거야. 할 수 있다면 영원히. 저장.
You have already chosen to walk along this path, and we both know you will see it to
우리
completion.
한 번 더
But
한다.
if you need more time, then I will wait with you.
또 강정해주나? 영원히 기다린다. 영원히 기다릴 순 없다.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place, if you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern
자,
filling
들어가.
itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box because you'll always
아,
want to
그건,
know what it means
그건
to be
맞지.
you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to
강정되나 보다.
return to mine.
이럴 줄 알았지. 어우, 무서워라. 아이, 왜 이러니?
You have returned to me, though you were gone mere moments. I never left your side.
화면도 이게 짧은 시간 동안이었지만 전 당신을 떠나지 않았어요가 내가 이 게임을 끄고 한 일주일이 지나면은 돌아왔군요. 일주일 동안이었지만 전 당신 곁을 떠나지 않았어요 라고 얘기를 할 수도 있을 것 같아요. 아니면은 하루던가 좀 긴 시간이라고 말하던가 그렇겠지? 약간 그러지도 않을까 생각을 해요. 저는 지금 방금 켜서 이렇게 나왔지만 어떻게 될지는 모르겠네요. 하루 이틀 뒤에 키면 어떻게 될지 모르겠네. PC 시간 바꾸고 오면 어떻게 될지. 그러니까. 아, 나이트 코드의 20은요. 어서오세요. 리얼타임이 내가 있다고는 이제 확실히는 못하고, 근데 이 말을 하는 것 자체는 짧은 시간이라고 하는 거 봐서는 아마 긴 시간 아니면 짧은 시간 이런 식으로 나뉘어 있지 않을까 하는 제 추측이에요. 어떻게 될지는 저도 모릅니다. 그래, 돌아갈 준비가 됐어.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for
살살
you.
해주세요, 제발. 뭐냐? 아니 이거 계속 놀라. 공주와 영웅? 챕터가 바뀌었는데?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a
주머니
cabin.
나쪽에 뭐람?
And in the basement of that cabin, you're here to slay her. If you
공주와 여왕? 공주와 뭐였지? 영웅? 공주와 영웅이 챕터 1이 원래 그 이름이었나? 그런가 본데? 조용히 오두막에 간다.
you make your way up. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture
단검을
of note is
가져가냐?
a plain wooden table.
가져가지
Perched
않냐?
on that table is a pristine
이거는
blade.
챕터 1에는 거울이 없다가 챕터 2에 나와요. 거울은.
The blade is your implement.
단검을 가져가냐 마냐. 이거는 세이브 좀 해야 되나 모르겠다. 단검을 가져가지 말자.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice softly carries up.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
이때 한번 죽여볼까? 익숙한 문짝이다.
Don't let it fool you. It's all
계속 내려간다.
good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to
이번엔
anyone?
묵묵한 용사 컨셉이시군요. 네, 저번에는 이때 한번 구해줬었으니까 이때 한번 안 구해주는 쪽으로 해보고 싶어요.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
그렇지만 이런 말을 하면 나는 너무 약해지는데. 이러면 나 너무 잠깐만 여기서 족쇄 엔딩 안 해봤잖아. 족쇄 엔딩을 한번 경험하고 나서 저희 그 리로드 해가지고 족쇄 엔딩을 안 봤잖아요. 이걸로 족쇄 엔딩으로 가볼까?
You're only making this more
Thank you.
상냥한
Thank you.
핑계로군요.
You're making a huge mistake.
너무 이쁘다.
No. You walk up to the chain, they're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's doubtful.
Okay. I'll be here.
You attempt to someone else. You try to go.
돌로 내려간다.
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic, right?
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before as she rips her flesh from her bone. A sound comes from behind you. The clang. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
아이 무서워.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
어떡하지? 어디서 가서 굶어 죽자네 야생공주. 공주를 구해가 죽이냐. 구해볼까?
Fine. Against your better judgment, you cut into her. The blade is sharp, and it takes her limb falls to the ground. She didn't so much as utter a sound. No, she didn't. She smiles soft. How is she still?
Thank you.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes.
해설자가
wait.
또 하는
Watch
거죠.
me.
경고한다가 이제 클릭할 수가 없어요. 경고한다를 이제 클릭할 수가 없어요. 친구 아니야? 이젠 못해.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart, but she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside.
경고해봤잖아요. 죽이셔야죠. 경고밴. 안돼. 경고밴만.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time?
아니야. 나는 억울하다
I know
공주야.
what's come over you. But if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need to...
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease.
그러니까.
You collapse to the floor,
무서워.
your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form.
근데 어찌 보면
eyes
시키는 대로
shining in the
했는데도 저러면
darkness.
해설자도 틀린
Dress
건가?
stained in
그럴
red
수도.
as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If it can't just end like this, as much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. Everything goes dark,
깜짝이야.
and you die.
너무 무섭다. 마녀 새로 나왔어.
You're on a path. You're here to It has. If he doesn't remember what brilliant.
기회주의자의
Our
목소리.
card's close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
오두막에 가자.
A warning. She will lie. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
어머머머.
interior of
어머.
the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
거울에서 한 번 더
Walk
해볼까요?
up to the... What are you talking about? You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous
나중
you
가면
look right now.
주인공도 공주처럼 손이 바리에이션 많아지죠. 그니까요. 이번엔 단검을 들고 갑시다.
You take the blade from the shelf. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. That's not actually a bad idea.
지하실에 들어간다.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below.
오.
The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. Her voice skitters up from below.
카랑카랑한 목소리가 들립니다.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
난 역겹지 않아. 안녕? 얘도 진짜 이상한 애야. 침묵한다. 난 역겹지
But you
않아.
are. You're a wretched little thing.
난 역겹지 않아.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
지수해라 그 말.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough.
목소리를 들으시
Walk our way
되게
out of this
친절해
whole
보이는데.
situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what
팩트를
she
패다니.
is.
선동과 날조로 승부하자.
Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
맞지?
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the
Slay the
princess.
princess.
Fine, fine. You're the boss.
Fine, fine. You're the boss.
Thank you. You descend the basement steps,
오!
entering the dark room below.
공주 발. 공주가 펄이가 됐는데요? 우리 공주는 안 물어요.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom.
아니,
She's huddled
공주
against
뿔이
the far
생겼어.
wall, her eyes bright and
프린세스,
glaring
발도
from
봐.
amid the thick roots.
펄이가 됐는데?
And there you are. One hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
Sharp, sharp blade.
That's no fair.
이런 게
How'd you
어딨어?
know that?
어떻게 알았지? 들켰죠? 안 무는 공주는 사람을 손으로 찌죠.
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning.
연역전 추론이라는 겁니다.
Well, you seem to be great at it.
그러게요. 누구 덕에 말이죠.
So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us.
해결되진
Is it
않았는데?
all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her.
자기 세계가 위태로운 상태라니.
let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
뭐해? 이번 생엔 혓바닥 없이 태어났어? 진짜 말넘심. 알아. 지난번엔 좀 엉망이었지. 네 힘으로 족쇄를 풀 수 있지 않아? 지난번엔 족쇄가 문제가 아니었잖아. 난 널 해치고 싶지 않았지만 깨진 신뢰를 회복해야겠지. 내 선이라고 생각해. 공주에게 단검을 넘긴다. 난 널 풀어줄 만큼 믿진 않는 건 둘째치고 너한테 접근할 만큼 믿지도 않아. 난 떠나겠어. 안녕. 그냥 솔직하게 말하는 게 좋아. 네가 지난번에 날 어떻게 대했는지 신경 안 써. 넌 이제부터 이 세상이 위협이야. 지금부터 널 죽이겠다. 공주를 죽인다. 그러니까요. 선택지 엄청 많은데 한번 물어볼게요. 네 힘으로 족쇄를 풀 수 있지 않아? 지난번엔 족쇄는 문제가 아니었잖아.
Oh, of course. They're nothing to me.
The princess
Hola.
grins as the chains fall from her wrist.
그럼 왜 갇혀 있었지?
She could have gotten out of those the whole time.
저 교활한 망할.
Little. A woman after my own heart.
마음에 드는 여자구만.
She knows how to
자신의
hold
패를
her
저렇게
cards close to her
숨겨두다니.
chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here.
제
If left to
옴뇸뇸조차
her own
필요가 없었어?
devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
스스로 빠져나올 수가 있는데 왜 내가 필요한 거야? 이 오두막은 잠기지도 않아.
The cabin lets prying little beasts like you come as you please. But it insists I stay where I am.
내가
That
찾은
binding I
족쇄는 날
shed is
여기
just a
가둔
symbol
이
of the cruel
잔혹한 마법의
magic at
상징
work in
같은
this
거거든.
place.
아, 마법에 걸려 있는 거구나.
If I'm to leave, I'm to leave with you. And you alone.
공주와 함께 나간다. 그러게? 날 미워한다는 느낌이 드는데?
Is that a joke? Do you think a joke will charm my trust back? You'll have to try
이걸
harder
이렇게
than
고백을?
that.
그니까 지난번 일은 미안해.
Oh, smart. Let's apologize. Get us back on the right foot.
나만 있어도 된다는 게. 고맙네.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster.
시체라도 상관없다는 얘기 같은데. 오.
If you're sorry, then let me out of here.
여기서 나가게 해서 증명해봐. 그래? 좋아. 여기서 나가자.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
아, 클릭 감사합니다. 오.
She never breaks
펄이야,
eye
펄이.
contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do
예쁘다,
now that she's
그치?
within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets
달링이래
come and go.
나보고.
It's best if I follow.
달링.
Oh no, we can't have that. If
펄이
anyone is
펴.
going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. We're armed and she's not. What's she gonna do? Bite us when we're not looking?
그래, 우리 물어서
We're
죽었잖아.
talking a lot about trusting
물어서
someone
죽인 건
who, by
아니긴
her
한데
very
아무튼
definition, cannot
물어서
be
죽인 게
trusted.
맞겠지?
I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole
패고,
out. If you
뜯고,
help her out of here, you're going to
찍고
regret it.
그래서 죽겠지. 깨진 신뢰를 회복해야겠군. 이걸 4개 넘기면 어때?
You
You
can't
kidding
be
me?
serious. Now hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of
님선
our most
선택지가
valuable
있네.
assets. We can't just give it to her.
그니까
What if she uses it to kill us?
코가
I
굉장하네.
vote no. As do I. Abstain. You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
어떻게 알아? 이건 민주주의가 아니야. 공주에게 단검을 넘긴다. 하하. 아니다, 멍청한 생각이었네. 딱 봐도 우리 싫어하니 단검을 넘길 생각 없어. 아니야, 공주는 날 안 죽일 거야.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do.
단검 안 줘도 반갈색 될 것 같은데. 맞아.
You hand the blade to the princess, who quickly snatches it from you, her eyes darting between you and
그치,
the weapon
그녀,
with a
너,
nervous
얘도
curiosity.
혼란스럽겠지?
I wouldn't have done that.
와, 그 봐.
Why did you?
신뢰를 회복하기
What
위해서야.
do you think happens now?
너와 함께 나가는 것이기 때문에. 그건 너한테 달렸어. 그게 내게 단검을 넘긴 이유야. 난 지난번에 결정을 내렸고 그 결정을 후회했어. 이번엔 네가 결정을 내릴 차례야. 장기 자랑 당할 거야. 우리는 모두 겁먹었고 지금은 서로를 해치고 있어. 둘 중 한 명이 변화를 만들지 않는다면 영원히 서로를 죽이게 될 거야. 난 그건 원하지 않아. 우린 더 나아질 수 있어. 너는 아름다워. 정말 너를 구하고 싶어. 이게 유일한 방법이라 생각했어. 영웅 말파리. 나는 첫 번째로 할래요.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes
Oh,
dart away.
오히려 이게 나쁘지 않은 선택이었을지도?
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
And then she buries the blade in your heart.
아이, 언니 나는
What?
믿었는데.
No, come on, that's not right.
언니 나는
I told
믿었는데.
you. I told you. This is what she said.
언니.
Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you.
믿었는데.
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly. replaced
언니
with
운다.
concern. Her nerve,
Why? Why did you let me do this?
아니 무슨 소리야, 언니가 있으면서.
but you don't have the strength to respond.
역시 짐승은 키우는 게 아니었어.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
아, 챕터 3로 넘어왔는데?
You're on a path in the woods. She stabbed us. She actually stabbed us. Of course she stabbed us. We
당연히
gave her the
찌르지.
blade, which, I might add,
괜찮아, 참고로.
I voted against.
잠깐만. 배신감의 목소리. 우리 찔렀어. 진짜 찔렀다고.
But the whole point was that she wasn't supposed to do
맞아.
that. The whole point of giving her the blade was to break the cycle of violence, and she just
여기
killed us anyway.
첨상단이 왔는데?
I guess it really doesn't matter if she killed us, though, right? We're back here, which means that everything's fine, or fine adjacent. Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. Maybe that's all it'll take to show her that there's another way to do things. You know, maybe you're right. In
그래.
which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you.
아, 해설자는 아직 안 죽었네. 하긴.
Like that changes anything. We all know the game is rigged. It doesn't even matter if she's nice this time. I'm sure he'll find a way to turn us against each other. Great. So you've obviously been here before.
두 번
Since you
죽었어.
apparently died at least once. Twice, actually.
맞아요. 목소리들은 예전 영웅들이 디코방에서 떠드는 그런
Sure.
느낌입니다.
Twice.
두 번이요. 하.
Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's
해설자는
dangerous.
대체
So
뭘까?
don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
이곳은 뭔가 이상해. 계속 바뀌고 있어.
Wonderful. If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason
아,
for you
그렇게
to
하는
take
거
this
아닌데.
seriously. It would mean your grip
Everyone.
on things is
용사
slipping,
vs
which
공주
in
맞고라
turn
너만
likely
오면
means her
고.
influence is spreading. Someone's in the know.
아는 게 참 많네. 믿기진 않겠지만 님 말대로 했더니
I've had
망했어요.
enough of these annoying little secrets. If you want us to do this, you have to let us in on your game
맞아.
already. I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her. Definitely
용사가
don't free her. And if you can, don't even think
슈.
about her.
아가 되어버리잖아요. 루프에 대해서 꽤 빨리 받아들이네.
What do you want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before. It's bad for you, it's bad for me, and it's especially bad for the world.
당신은
The
이미
more
두
times
번이나
you run through
실패했죠.
this, the more likely it is that you'll fail.
나 8번
You've
정도
already
실패했어.
failed twice. So you knew this could happen. Theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I was supposed to be the first.
해설자는
I'd
왜
really
자꾸
rather
기억이
not.
리셋되는 거 같지?
Great! Not even he really seems to get what's going on. If the guy who goes around acting like he knows all the rules doesn't even know how this works, what's the point in listening?
욕하지 말고 쓰담해줘.
Then we can all move on
쓰담.
and forget what I said about failure. It's important that you believe in yourself, and the fact you're here probably means that you still have a chance to pull this off and save the world. My world, at least. It sounds like you've probably doomed a couple of others already.
세상 2억 개 정도는 끝장내신 걸로 보이니까요. 8개 정도.
I need to stop talking. Think happy thoughts.
오두막을 집어치우고 그냥 떠난다면 무슨 일이 일어나지?
She gets
할
out
말
is
다
what
해놓고
happens.
맞지.
Maybe not right away, but eventually. And I'm not sure I buy that. Everything has to end eventually. Not that she's innocent, but murder is unpleasant and risky.
네, 맞아요.
Could be a better
떠난다는
solution
선택지도
for
있는데
everyone. You're here to permanently
저번에
end the
떠난다고
threat she
했는데
poses.
그
You're
신
not here to
같은
temporarily
여자애가
postpone it.
그만하라 그래서 돌아갈 수밖에 없었거든요. 설마 공주에게 심장을 찔린 뒤에도 내가 그녀를 풀어줄 거라 기대하는 건 아니겠지?
That's the spirit. You're damn right. You need two to break a cycle of violence, and if she's not playing the
그치,
same game
폭력의
as us,
순환을 깨는 건
we've got
혼자
to go
힘으로 할
back
수
to
없지.
treating her like an enemy. Let's just see how the wind blows.
근데 이번에는 또 모르겠는데 아마 비슷하지 않을까 싶어서.
Stop sitting on the fence and pick a side already. We don't
넌
need you
줄타기
waffling
그만하고
when things
편을
get
정해.
hairy. I've already picked a side. Our side. I'm here to make sure that whatever happens, we wind up on top. Because that's worked out great so far. Well, we're not out of the game yet, are we? And again, I'll have you know, I wouldn't have gotten us killed last time. I wanted to stab her in the back, not hand over our precious...
무슨 일이 우리 기다리고 있던 간에 정답은 오두막에 있는 모양이군. 가서 한번 보자고.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I don't know if I'd say everyone.
Everyone.
You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old.
아 근데 진짜 이쁘게 생겼다. 맞아요. 꽃이에요. 네? 왜?
The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was
단검!
once a table.
단검이 없네?
A pristine... Wait, this isn't right. This is supposed to be a pristine blade.
어디 갔죠?
Why isn't there a
얘도
pristine
모른다.
blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. And if she has
해설자도
it...
논란. 이것이 당신의 단검입니까? 뭐야, 내 단검 돌려줘요.
Let me guess. You want to get all chummy with her.
그니까요, 해설자도 그냥 되는 대로 말하네요.
As far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon.
그게 현명한
It's
거야.
just a smart thing to do.
공주가 가지고 있으면 뭐
I
아쉬운
wouldn't be
거지.
so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere.
마치 어차피
She
단검을
can't
들고도
have it.
찍힌다고.
That's not how this is supposed to work.
난 항상 장가의 편이다.
Of course we don't get to make a choice about the blade. Every single time we come back here, something has to be different.
배신감의 목소리. 거울이 다가간다.
You're right, the mirror is back. But there isn't a mirror.
에?
I still don't get his angle.
아직도 저 녀석의 의중을
Seems
모르겠어.
like whatever we do, he's always
우리가
gonna say
뭐라고
it
한
isn't
거울이
there.
없다고 할 모양이고.
He's either a liar or he... So, is the door to the basement behind the mirror? I promise you there isn't a mirror and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned out frame than anything else, and it's
거울이-
right there on the far side of the room.
거울 있잖아.
You step forward and approach the
그을린
scorched
있고?
entryway leading to the basement. hesitate. It went away when we touched it last time. Not that this place always follows the
맞아.
same rules.
거울이 어디 있다는 거죠? 거울.
Reach forward and
올라라.
wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. You figures.
역시.
Well, seems like the only way to go is
나아갈
forward.
수가 있어?
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us.
지하실에 들어갈 수가 있어?
You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way to the
있었는데요,
darkness
없었습니다.
below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves
그러니까요,
through the
계단은
soot-covered earth
살아있네요.
of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. I'd say this feels like a trap, but you practically said as much. They're only thorns. I'd say getting a few scratches in exchange for the lives of everyone in existence is a fair trade. I'm sure you'll manage. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
무력한 목소리.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
다 포기했나 보다. 난 여기서 탈출할 방법을 찾고 있어. 나도 몰라. 내가 뭘 원하는지 몰라. 난 애초에 여기 오고 싶지 않았어.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not
와.
like I can stop you.
근데 공주도 지쳤네.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward.
어떻게 됐을까 공주는?
You step out into what was
아이고,
once a vast
아이고,
open
공주야.
cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles. The space thick with hostile vegetation.
죽여도 또 오고 죽여도 또 오고.
At the heart of it all, encased in a tight
공주
weave of
죽어가네.
vines,
그니까
is the princess.
너무 아프겠다.
Her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer?
그럴
Are
리가
you here to
없잖니. 어머. 그래 비웃으러 왔어. 날 죽여놓고 왜 기대한 거야? 비웃은 그러 온 게 아니야. 허락만 해준다면 널 풀어주고 싶어. 널 풀어줄 수 있어. 하지만 내게 단검을 줘야 해. 티베깅 좀 할까요? 왜 그래? 넌 스스로 만든 감옥에 갇혀있어. 난 이미 폭력의 순환을 깨뜨렸지만 정 계속 갇혀있고 싶다면 멋대로 해. 좋아. 계속 그렇게 나온다면 난 떠나겠어. 잘 살아. 비웃으러운 게 아니야. 허락만 해준다면 널 풀어주고 싶어. 아 나는 왜 이렇게 공주의 얼굴을 보면은 그래 이번에는 꼭 죽여야지 하다가 사르르 녹아버릴까.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
나도 자유를 원해. 나도 너처럼 갇혀있는 존재야. 우린 함께 떠나야 돼.
The princess clutches the blade
맞아 아파
closer to
보이니
her
그런 말
chest.
하지.
That sounds nice.
그치?
I'm so
얘도 이제
tired of the bad
인정하는구나.
blood between us.
공주의
But it's
티아라가
hard to let it go.
가시
hurt me.
면류관인데요. 여기 있어.
Her
미안해.
eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
그리고 나도 당신을 아프게 했지. 그렇지. 널 설득시킬 수는 없는 거야.
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
그러니까요.
She's right.
서로
There's nothing
쌤쌤이야
left to say.
지금.
So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. Careful with that one. He's not the smooth negotiator he thinks he is. It does feel like we're stuck until we do something. If there's even anything to do besides make things worse. We're not making things worse. I think she wants to trust us.
그렇다면 이게 이제 말로 할 단계는 지난 모양이군. 이제 단검을 가져가도 될까?
Her eyes briefly meet yours. then darts back to the
끄덕,
floor.
형,
She hangs her
끄덕여준다.
head in resignation.
Okay.
단검을 향해 손을 뻗는다.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her
공주야.
trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally
아직도
loosens and she allows you to take the
의심하는 게
weapon.
있네.
You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your
아이고,
skin,
미안해.
leaving red trickles of fresh blood all
미안해.
over.
Be damned. She really gave it to us.
이제 배신감의 목소리
It
배심이
feels like it's
녹았겠지?
been so long since we've held real power in our hands. I wonder what we should do with it.
아 근데 기회주의자는 진짜 갈팡질팡해서 진짜
Obviously.
별로네.
It's the right thing to
그래
do.
공주를 풀어주자.
I think you're right. She's as much a victim in all of this as we've been. Besides, or hear me out.
단검을 진짜 줬다는
Slay
걸
her.
배신감
Right here,
들었을지도.
right now, she's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance.
That sounds like a
아
splendid idea. You should listen to
르나키레님
him.
어서 오세요. 안녕하세요. 저 잔인한 게 아니에요. 물론 19금 게임을 하고 있지만 저는 공주를 풀어주려고 애쓰고 있다니까요. 우리 공주.
We've all said our piece. Now it's time to make our move.
It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't
넌
count.
포함 안 돼. 공주.
And why shouldn't he count?
Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a
공주
say.
풀어줄게. 잔인하게 죽어나간 천사죠. 맞지? 공주를 죽여라. 아니 게임 이름이 그렇습니다. 게임 이름이.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a
아니야
fool to
아니야
hand my life
아니야
to
아니야
you?
내가 풀어줄게 언니. 풀어준다.
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her. You can't just switch sides as soon as we make
아
a decision.
기회주의자구나.
I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole
내
heart
가슴이 시키길
this
이게
is
최선의
the
선택이라는
right
건
course of action.
공주를
Let's
풀어주자고.
free this princess. Even if he'll stick a knife in our back as soon as he
기회만
has the
있으면 우리
opportunity,
등에도
it's
칼을
still
찌를
better to have
양반이지만
him
그래도 우리
nominally
편에
on
있는
our
게 낫지.
side.
그야와
At least that gets him
그래야
to shut up for a
잠깐이라도
while.
닥칠 테니.
See? We're all friends here, united in our actions and intentions.
기회주의자 부리부리 먹는데.
Yeah, united. But the other one has a point. If it keeps you quiet, sure, we're all friends. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick
즐거운
vegetation
목소리
rather than
친구들.
her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after
그니까
all of
공주
that, she's
어떻게
still
해?
expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart.
Is that really all you've got? Threatening us with an accidental misstep? I expected more from you.
근데 저 덩굴을 자를 때 덩굴 안에서 피가 나오는데? 물론 공주의 피일 수도 있겠지만 근데 이건 너무 단면에 피가 고여 있는데?
Our blade didn't even waver when he said that. Yeah, you're right. He's a bit of a nobody, isn't he? Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning.
수액이 빨개?
The princess falls into your arms.
공주가
tears
나의 품으로
streaking down her
쓰러집니다.
cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
내가 널 구했어. 아들 하나, 딸 하나 낳자. 물론이지. 난 우리 가진 사람들이 싫을 뿐이야.
Me too.
나도.
She smiles, her hand slipping into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs.
순간까지 생각 중.
Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you
내가
downstairs
뚫고
are
간다.
blocking your only way
넌 나의
out.
뒤를 따라오길 바래.
You're getting desperate, aren't you?
세상에
Even
절박한
more
봐봐.
proof you can't
네가
actually
우리를
do
막지
anything to
못한다는
stop
증거만
us.
늘었군.
We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant
맞아.
for so much more than this.
우린 의미 있는 존재들이야. 가시덩굴을 자른다.
As you
야!
swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement
야!
stairs,
야! 멋있다.
they yield.
길. 샤.
Both you and the princess.
언니 웃는다. 언니 웃는다. 언니 웃는다.
This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her,
지금까지 풀받친 공주는
ends. Do you hear me?
기라군요.
What did the world ever do to you to deserve this?
손 꼭 잡은 거 봐.
It feels so good to hear you say that. You're admitting you've lost, and we've bested you at your own game at last. I don't care what happens now. That's all I've wanted.
아니 누가 그랬는데 원래 서로 감정이 진짜 안 좋았다가 그 풀린 경우에 사랑이 좀 더 싹쓴다는 이야기가 있었어요.
You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
가자. 우리 아기 이름은 미카엘이 좋겠어.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
자유를 향해 나아간다. 프리덤!
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out
딸
into
이름?
a new day. You irredeemable murderers.
퓨리엘?
What do we do now?
안돼! 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 주변에 이 배경 안돼! 주경의 배경 안돼! 주경의 배경 안돼! 언니 안돼! 내 거야! 안돼! 언니 내 건데! 안돼! 잡아가지 마! 아이고 미카엘아! 아이고 퓨리엘아! 아이고 나의 손자들!
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
동안
There's that. Why is it here?
태어나지도
Right now?
못한 나의 손자들. 태어나지도 못한 나의 손자들. 미치겠네.
But it feels so. It's kind of. If they think it's.
거울에 다가간다.
I don't like that silence.
당신 다가가는 순간 목소리들은 멀어진다. 당신의 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 이번에도 모두들 사라졌다. 거울이 매번 모두를 사라지게 만든다. 하지만 당신은 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인해야 한다. 당신은 아무것도 아니다. 하지만 아무것도 아닐 리가 없다. 당신을 다시 집중해서 본다. 그러자 보이기 시작한다. 거울에 비치는 것 바로 넘어 있는 희미하고 그림자에 가려진 무언가가. 램블루키님 희망 어서 오세요. 넌 나야?
I think you know what I am.
거울의 한가운데에 금이 가기 시작한다. 유리에 비친 모습이 둘로 갈라진다. 균열은 점점 더 뻗어나가다 결국 깨진 유리 파편이 되어 흩어진다. 네가 어머 눈동자가 움직여. 눈동자가 움직여. 네가 해설작은 영영 못 보는 건가 생각하고 있었어.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me.
약간 까마귀 같이 생기긴 했어요. 아이고 깜짝이야. 넌 무엇이지? 나와 비슷한 존재야?
Oh, I'm nothing like you.
해태식이.
I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made
그리고
you
유리는
after all,
살살
and I'm
캐죠.
what's left of him.
미스터 크로.
Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
저와 같은 존재. 넌 이전에도 비슷한 말을 했었어. 해설자들은 전부 각각 다른 존재였던 거야?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world.
야, 얘가 문제였네.
But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
맞아. 유리 파편만큼 질문할 수 있을 것 같아요. 네 조각이 부서질 때마다 아프지 않아? 널 파괴하고 싶진 않아. 내가 질문을 멈추면 되는 거야? 깨질 것 같고. 내가 뭔가 질문할 때마다 네 조각이 부서져. 역시 루프에 대해 알고 있었군. 널 수도 없이 만났는데 그때마다 넌 부정했잖아. 왜 내게 거짓말을 했지? 공주는 무엇이지? 그것도 네가 만든 존재야? 내 진짜 정체는 뭐야?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible.
그래요? 그럴수라님 안녕히 주무세요. 안녕 핀방.
I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
공주는 무엇이지? 그녀도 네가 만든 존재야?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
공주가 내 관점대로 변하는 능력이 있다면 그럼 공주를 아주 작은 존재로 생각하면 되는 거 아니야? 추상적인 개념을 나보고 어떻게 파괴하라는 거야? 우리가 모두가 이곳을 떠나지 않는다면? 우린 여기 머물고 바깥 사람들은 그냥 살아가게 놔두면 안 돼? 내 진짜 정체는 뭐야?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
난 신이 되고 싶지 않아. 난 나이고 싶어. 신이라. 역시 난 특별했어. 좀 더 길게 말해주지.
You are you. And if you would let everything work the way it was supposed to, you never would have woken up to the reality of your true nature.
네가 날 만들었다면 이건 알아도 난 여태껏 고문을 받는 기분이었어. 우리에 대해 또 알고 있는 사람이 있어? 신, 한 손만 공주에게 단검 들고 덤벼서 찍기. 넌 신이야? 아니면 신이 어떤 거야? 어째서 내가 세계의 죽음을 없애길 원하지? 신이
If you need to
약골이군.
ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror
엄청 많이
of
겪었는데.
dying.
신이 빙신인 것 같기도. 넌 어떻게 죽었지? 죽는 게 뭐가 무서워? 난 이미 여러 번
You
죽었는데.
haven't. You've flirted with dying. You've played pretend. But your consciousness is an unbroken stream.
아무도 나와 같은 방식으로 죽음을 경험하지 않는다는 걸 너는 어떻게 알지?
They obviously don't. You experience death the way you
그러게요.
do by design and by your unique nature.
오! Run out of question. 아, 죽음에 대한 거를 다 4시간이 다 물어봤대요. 다 4시간이 다 한 것 같고요. 난 그녀를 죽이지 않을 거야. 네가 완전히 죽기 전에 알려주고 싶었어.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
눈 감았다. 살아바다 해설자. 마지막 유리 파편이 깨지자 당신은 새로운 깨달음을 얻는다. 해설자의 말 그대로 당신은 정막이다. 새로 태동하기 시작한 무한한 신. 그리고 이제 깨어날 시간이다. 이 모든 것이 당신이다. 마지막으로 간다. 마지막으로 한 번 더. 당신은 모든 것의 심장부에 도착하지만 그곳에는 마지막 그릇이 없다. 아무것도 보이지 않는다. 오, 불안해.
I can finally
니
see
오토마타
you,
닮았다.
and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
나도 네가 그리웠어. 이래서 공겜이구나. 점점 기괴해지네요. 그니까요. 그녀가 무한한 미소로 답한다. 그리고 당신의 다음 말을 인자하게 기다린다. 메아리에 대해 알아? 우리의 대화를 들었어?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death.
진짜 아수라가
I have no
되었잖아.
mind.
전태님 흰바 안녕히 가세요. 나는 정막이야. 하지만 그게 무슨 의미인지 모르겠어.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
이제 무슨 일이 일어나지?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
스스로 행동하지 않는 수동적인 자였죠. 이거 성격 진단 게임인가요?
When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
아직 해결하지 못한 이야기가 너무 많아. 정말 그냥 떠나도 되는 거야? 이 모든 것에 대해 할 말 없어? 왜 나만 이 모든 책임을 지는 거야? 대화로 해결해보자. 내가 널 내보내주면 세계는 끝장이야. 내가 뭘 하든 넌 이렇게 될 운명이었는데 그럼 네가 지금껏 한 일의 의미가 있긴 해? 내가 지금껏 한 일의 의미가 있긴 해? 이 순간까지 내가 내려온 결정들이 의미가 있긴 한 거야? 널 파괴하거나 내보내주는 것 말고도 분명 다른 방법이 있을 거야. 이렇게 될 거라고 내가 말했잖아. 이젠 우리가 떠날 시간이야. 하지만 어디로 갈지 어떻게 할지 모르겠어.
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning.
영웅도 신이면 지금 영웅 생김새도 공주처럼 아수라 상태일까요? 그거는 잘 모르겠어요. 우리 모습이 약간 좀 검게 보이는 수밖에 없었어가지고 내 모습이 어떻게 보이는지는 잘 모르겠지만 일단 괴물 같은 건 확실한 것 같아요. 약간 늑대 괴물?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been
진짜
full of
영웅의 모습이
strife and
어떤지도
conflict.
궁금해요. 그래서 계속 거울을 봤었는데 거울을 안 보여줘서.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach. And yet violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then
얼른? 에?
A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both.
이
Compassion
공주.
is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which
그런가
cannot
봐요.
change.
진짜 정체를 알았다면 널 풀어주려 하지 않았을 텐데. 물론이지. 나는 우리가 서로를 증오하는 걸 원하지 않았어.
Then help me again. We are each other's liberation.
masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, nor is there an end. There is only the flood of bodies. And every moment you hold every possible sensation at once, and then you hold them all again. And in the end, you returned it to me. For a brief moment, you were everything. A chaos that needed ordering. But without chaos, there
그러고
is
보니
no
밑에 여자들이
reason.
허리까지 올라왔네. 맞아요. 그땐 널 이해하진 못했지만 넌 고통스러워 보였어. 내가 저지른 짓에 대해서 사과할게. 하지만 그럴 수밖에 없었어.
I saw with a single pair of eyes what I needed dozens to comprehend.
피마 바다님 안녕히 가세요.
And now here we are, each with millions of eyes, and all of them opening to what we are.
그러게. 어우.
You become nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. You are terrified of a power so far beyond you that it strips the meaning from your every action. But at the feet of that power, the dark parts of you cannot help but burn away. Your inadequacy is reduced to cinders by the blazing light of the divine. When I proclaimed my godhood and presented you with a place by my side in my new creation, you
마치
gladly
내가 공주의 노예가 됐었지 저번에.
Without me, there is no future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into consciousness.
무릎 맞아 그때 그랬었지. 내가 저 그릇이었을 때가 그리워. 노예 근성이잖아. 넌 스스로의 자아에 잡아먹혔었어.
And through your lack of one, you too were consumed. Yet together, we were able to create something beautiful.
어머.
Your lover tried to stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it? Now
난 숨을 생각 없어. 하지만 진실은 더 나아질 수 있어. 그러기 위해 널 파괴해야 한다면 어쩔 수 없지. 난 진실로부터 숨고 싶지 않아.
Then don't. Leave with me. There's no need for you to fight what we are.
공주 시점에서 보니 털도 있고 어떻게 생긴 거야? 약간 좀 늑대 수인처럼 생긴 느낌이에요. 두려워 말라. 어떡하지? 라나드님! 금방 왔는데요? 되게? 어서오세요, 라나드님. 안녕. 준비됐어. 너와 함께 떠나고 싶어. 한 4회차인가? 5회차, 딱 5회차 있어요. 싸움을 일찍 끝내고 항복한다. 저장을 했으니까. 어머?
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
자신을 해방시킨다. 당신은 내면으로 떨어진다. 고대 생명체의 몸이 동면에서 깨어나고 당신은 한때 느끼지 못했던 팔다리의 감각을 느낀다. 그녀를 제외한 이곳의 모든 것이 당신이다. 당신은 우주적인 규모의 날개를 느낀다. 그러나 유한한 땅에 묶여 뒤틀리고 구겨져 있다. 당신은 구성체가 당신에게 좁혀오는 것을 느낀다. 당신은 무한한 몸을 유한하게 만들려고 하고 있다. 당신은 저항한다. 그러나 밀어낼 수 없다.
I love you.
공주의 손을 잡는다. 일순간 밀리지 않았던 장벽이 한꺼번에 부서진다. 당신은 자유롭다. 그녀도 함께한다. 이거 지금 뒤에 풀이 자라는, 잔디 자라는 영상이랑 뭔가 별 모양으로 쭉 나가는 빛의 영상? 그게 섞여서 나오고 있어요.
It's magnificent.
영웅은 이제 자유해요. 이 절대적인 현실을 표현할 단어도 생각도 존재하지 않는다. 이제 무슨 일이 생기지?
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
무한을 향해 발을 내딛는다. 당신과 그녀는 수천 번의 밤과 수천 번의 낮을 향해 걸어간다. 그 밤과 낮은 수천 번의 밤보다 밤과 낮을 품고 있다. 당신은 존재한다. 그리고 이해한다. 지금까지 그래왔고 앞으로도 그럴 테다. 당신의 본질은 갈등을 품고 있지만 둘은 결코 떨어지지 않을 것이다. 두려움을 모른 채 살아갈 것이다. 당신과 공주는 마침내 집에 도착했다. 지금까지 그래왔고 앞으로도 계속. There is no ending. 야. 이것이 엔딩인가? 야. 그러게요. 근데 저장해 놓은 게 있으니까 한번 다른 엔딩도 한번 해볼까요? Our song. Finish the game. The good ending doesn't. 뭐? 플레이해주셔서 감사합니다. 감사의 표시로 당신을 위한 음악 플레이리스트를 준비했습니다. 스크린샷을 찍고 싶다면 H를 눌러 UI를 숨기세요. 디스코드 방문, 이메일 광고 구독, 서브 크레딧 방문, OST 듣기, 홈페이지 방문, 제작사의 다른 게임 플레이. 여기서도 홍보를 네가 나의 관점에서 바라보기 전까진 너와 떠나지 않을 거야.
If you need more time to open your eyes,
아,
then I will give you all the time in the world. To question everything is to deny proof of the reality that lies in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind.
한 판 더 해.
To trap yourself in them forever. But you did not.
이 효수 공주구나.
And we held trust in each other for no reason than to believe in something that wasn't us. Cold skepticism turned to liberation, but it
요수팀
required a
아니야.
journey to blossom. Though you have blossomed, do you have no more journeys left to make? What of those in the spaces beyond?
나는 모두를 그대로 유지하고 싶은 게 아니야. 길은 끝나는데 무슨 의미가 있겠지?
And that is what I want too, to protect them from the horrors of an eternity without me.
이게 무슨... 당신과 그녀의 갈등이 가라앉아 당신은 떨기 시작한다. 당신의 의지가 빠르게 사라지고 있다.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
모든 것에 위에 서 있다고 보면 자신의 생각만이 옳다고 착각하기 쉬워져요. 아, 공주를 죽인다. 네, 저장하자. 아, 네아부장님 피망 어서오세요.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
우리가 여기에 떠나면 어떻게 될 거라고 생각해?
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all.
그건 놔둘 수 없어. 모든 것이 죽게 될 수 없어. 넌 잔혹함 자체야. 널 살려둘 수 없어. 난 무엇이 정답인지 몰라. 하지만 분명 정답은 있고 이건 정답이 아니야. 난 널 죽이지 않을 거지만 풀어줄 수도 없어. 넌 네 관점을 내게 관철시키기 위해 모든 것을 시도했지만 정작 너는 내 관점을 무시하고 있어. 네가 날 바꿀 수 있다고 생각한다면 나 또한 널 바꿀 수 있겠지. 하, 공주를 죽이냐, 이야기를 하냐. 죽이는 것도 한번 해보지 않을까?
There is no something else. This, what we are, is everything.
Whatever you're trying to do right now,
어,
you don't have to do it alone.
너는 어떤 영웅이지?
All of them?
와.
I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
네 목소리가 얼마나 반가운지 넌 꿈에도 모를 거야.
It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there.
그녀의
I
심장
can take you
부분.
to her heart.
It's time to resume
설마.
our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? Then let's go. Here we are. I'd say we're back where it all started.
여기
but
여기
I
여기
guess it's a
뒤에
little after that.
야, 여기가 걔네의 심장인가 봐.
Do you need me to describe things?
와우. 그거 좋네. 옛날 느낌 나잖아. 해설자는 정말 사라진 거야?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
혹시 아까 네 말대로 상황을 해설해 줄 수 있어? 옛날 느낌 나게 말이야. 사실 그 녀석이 사라져서 좋은 건지 나쁜 건지 모르겠어. 그 녀석 때문에 가진 고생은 다 했지만 정작 사라지니 좀 슬프네. 맞아요. 창밖에 얘 심장 속인가 봐요. 여긴 너와 나뿐이야? 오두막에 도착한 다른 녀석은 없어?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
혹시 아까 네 말대로 상황을 해설해 줄 수 있어? 옛날 느낌 나게 말이야.
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a
아,
cabin,
영웅이
yeah?
뭔가
There
약간
isn't much here,
정질감
just a
느낀다.
table and a knife and a door. And some, you know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror either.
네가
I think we
부쉈나
broke
봐.
it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but
알카리스님
if things go
필요하세요?
south, we're going to need that blade.
그니까 잠깐만, 지금은 세이브를 할 때인 것 같아. 세이브하자. 단검을 가져간다.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more
그치.
options than not.
영웅이 정말 열일하네. 가자. 이게 심장부. 진짜 공주에
Stairs.
있는 곳.
Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
아! 죄송해요. 알라카스님 어서오세요.
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A
맞아.
little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And
풀려있어.
there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me?
맞아요. 한글 패치 잘 돼 있어요. 그래서 무서워요.
You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
아, 나는 또 여기서 고민하고 말아. 해방된 뒤라서 이젠 족쇄도 없군요. 맞아요. 공주의 앞에 앉는다. 난 신이 되고 싶지 않아. 넌 바깥의 저것과 같은 존재야?
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
난 아무도 해치고 싶지 않아. 분명 방법이 있을 거야. 이제는 어쩌지? 나도 그래.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened.
루프하는 선택지.
Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
그래서 루프하는 건가?
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
되돌리는 것이 저 바깥에 있는 사람에게도 도움이 될까? 네가 계속 존재한다면 결국 그들은 계속해서 죽고 고통받지 않아? 널 잊고 싶지 않아. 가슴이 시키는 대사. 키미오 와스레샤쿠나이. 다른 방법은 없는 거야? 그럼 해보자. 공주의 계획에 동의를 한다.
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them.
공주, 우리 선수들을 생각해. 널 잊고 싶지 않아. 결국엔 여기로 돌아오게 될 거야.
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
그래서 루프와 내가 해설자가 됐었을 수도 있겠다. 우리 미카엘을 위해. 널 잊고 싶지 않아. 우리가 이 대화를 이미 한 적이 없다고 어떻게 믿어? 그것도 그래.
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But
그니까.
odds are we've probably done it before.
그니까. 모든 게 더 나빠지면 어떡해? 내가 다음번엔 지금과 다르다면? 이곳으로 돌아온 다음에 널 해치면? 널 죽이면? 네가 모든 것을 멸망하도록 놔둔다면 어떡하지? 그니까.
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty and I still like you.
자기야! 언니!
And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me too.
어떻게 언니한테 들켜버렸다. 아. 갑자기 순애. 여기서 순애 드리프트라니 좋다. 여기서 이렇게 살벌한 고백을. 널 잊고 싶지 않아.
That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care.
내 아빠는 아니지만.
It seems
아,
important to you.
언니야. 우린 이 짓을 영원히 반복하게 될 거야. 언젠가는 무언가 달라지겠지. 우리가 생각을 바꾸면 어떡해?
Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now.
다른 방법은 없는 거야?
You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back.
하긴 서로 부대낀 게 얼만데? 대충 사라진 해설자 복창 터지는 소리. 지금 복창 터져서 지금 말도 못하잖아요. 난 너와 이곳에 있고 싶어. 다시는 혼자가 되고 싶지 않아. 전부 취소할게. 난 이걸 원하지 않아. 널 죽이고 싶지도 않아. 다시 시내로 돌아가기엔 너무 늦은 거야?
Neither do I. But we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you. Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time.
아, 좋아. 그럼 해보자. 난 우리를 믿어. 공주의 계획에 동의한다.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
사랑해!
Oh, I love you too.
사랑해! 와우! 자, 또 돌아왔잖아.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in
납도
the
사랑해.
basement
아,
of that
뭐야, 디르니!
is a princess. You're here to slay her.
아, 잠깐만. 아, 정말 진짜 처음부터 다시 시작했잖아. 아, 참. 어디서부터 다시 시작해야 되지? 알티언니 뭐야, 감사해요. 아, 어디서부터 다시 해야 될까? You in the past. 아. 이게 엔딩이야. 이게 엔딩이야. 계속 반복하는 건가 보네. 루프 엔딩. 난 사실 계속 다시 루프 해야 되는 줄 알고 어디서부터 하자고 막막하긴 했었어. 우리의 작은 동물들, 웬즈데이 뱀, 스푼 고양이, 눕즈, 우파루파. 아. 단검을 안 가져가 볼까?
No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it.
그러니까요.
but
영원히
your judgment has gotten
함께하라는
us this far.
결말인 것 같긴 해. 아, 그거 말고 다른 엔딩 뭐 없을까? 뭔가 같이 나가는 거라던가. 순애 엔딩?
The stairs.
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep...
It sounded just like that. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are. Hands empty.
아, 첫
So you don't
만남에
feel
똑같이
like
재현할
recreating
생각
our
없나
first
보네.
meeting detail for detail. I wonder what. Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say?
우리 그냥 떠내는 건 어때?
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean?
공주의 손을 잡는다. 난 원래부터 너와 함께 떠나고 싶었어. 아, 이러니 어서오세요. 불량... 신이 되고 싶진 않아. 그냥 우리인 채로 이 오두막 문을 나서고 싶어. 너와 난 단둘이서. 뭐야? 뭐지? 뭐지? 레이드 왔나요? 뭐야? 레이드 왔나요? 뭐야? 나나나나나나나나 어서오세요. 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 아, 리세님 어서오세요. 이제 그러면 뭔가를 한번 해보긴 할까요? 지금까지는 슬레이더 프린세스 공주를 죽이라는 게임을 하고 있었고요. 거의 엔딩 막바지에 아니야 다시 4시간 동안 했어요. 지금 한 2시간 동안은 했어요. 2시간 동안 했었어요. 완전 막바지인 거예요. 지금 약간 거의 신이 된 공주의 심장에 들어와가지고 공주랑 이야기하는 중이어서 맞아요. 이제 공주를 데리고 나가는 걸 한번 해보려고 합니다. 난 원래부터 너와 함께 떠나고 싶었어. 신이 되고 싶진 않아. 그냥 우리인 채로 이 오두막 문을 나서고 싶어. 너와 나 단 둘이서. 무슨 의미인지 모르기 때문에 하고 싶은 거야. 우린 거의 모든 것을 알고 있지만 이것만 알지 못해. 난 새로운 걸 알고 싶어. 그게 무슨 의미인지는 중요하지 않아. 중요한 건 우리가 함께 떠난다는 거야. 그게 내가 원하는 전부야. 나는 이 공주와 미래를 약속했기 때문에 그냥 저스트 우리인 채로 이 오두막문에 나가서 이 공주와 단둘이 살고 싶습니다.
I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
혼자 남아도 괜찮겠어? 영웅이 여기 남는데.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be alone for too long anyways. The others are still around here somewhere. I'll find them.
공주와 함께 떠난다. 당신이 앞장서고 공주가 뒤를 따라간다. 둘은 마지막으로 지하실을 떠난다. 공주랑 떠난다. 계단을 올라가자 평소엔 폭력과 위협의 목소리들로 가득했던 공간에 편안한 정적이 흐른다. 하지만 그 정적에는 무언가 힘이 담겨있다. 미지에 대한 기대감이다. 계단의 끝에서 공주가 멈춰선다. 시선은 오두막문을 향해 고정되어 있다. 그녀의 몸이 경직된 것이 보인다. 공주의 짧고 긴 삶들의 여정 속에서 그녀는 처음으로 자신을 확신하지 못한다. 그녀는 더 이상 맡아야 할 역할이 없다. 그럼에도 그녀는 여전히 공주이다. 이내 그녀는 문을 향해 나아간다. 당신은 그녀의 들뜬 발걸음을 뒤따라간다.
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad.
언니 나와 영원히 함께야. 사랑해.
I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all
가브리엘 탄생. 영웅을 남고 영웅을 보내고 손주들을 지켰다. 나의 손주야. 이거를 많이 보기에 수많은 그릇이. 진엔딩을 봐버렸어요. 결국 공주 언니랑 영원히. 엘레님 감사합니다. 영웅 히어로 주인공. 주인공에서 벗어나 영웅에서 벗어나
무슨
사랑하는 사람과 함께 무대 바깥으로. 급성무한 일버진님 감사합니다. 와이프를 살리기 위해서 와이프를 수십번 고르시안. 이렇게 해서 슬레이더 프린세스 진짜 지지리도 말 안 들었죠? 지지리도 말 안 들고 계속 공주를 구했더니 결국 빛을 발해버렸습니다. 역시 언니는 구해야지. 공주를 왜 죽여? 공주를 왜 죽여? 공주를 구해야지. 이것이 영웅의 이야기. 영웅은 죽지 않고 영웅은 이제
해설자. 이 정도면 나도 인정이다. 크크.
스네 최고. 정말 재밌었습니다. 슬레이더 프린세스. 많은 것들이 있었지만 결국엔 언니를 지켜내었습니다. 언니와 함께 100년회로 함께 할 수 있게 됐습니다.
마침내 저는 제 아내를 저장할 수 있었습니다.
나의 아내를 저장할 수 있었습니다. 나의 아내와 행복하게 살 수 있었습니다. 스네 최고. 언니 짱. 미안해 언니 하지마. 정말 알쳤다. 진짜 짱이네. 그치. 공겜이 아니었지. 언니와 나의 러브 스토리였죠. 미연씨. 그치만 가끔씩은 조금 깜짝 놀랐어. 로맨스 게임이잖아. 재밌었습니다.
순해. 그런데
맞아.
과정이
과정이
좀
조금
호로인.
호로인. 정말 재밌었습니다. 슬레이더 프린세스 우리 저희 콘텐츠 매니저님이 추천해주셔서 해봤는데요. 처음에는 놀랐지만 정말 재밌었습니다. 자, 그러면 오늘 유바는 여기까지. 오늘도 봐주셔서 너무 감사합니다. 슬레이더 프린세스 정말 즐거웠습니다. 오늘도 정말 즐거웠습니다. 유바 안녕.
유빠.
유바